What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of the What's the Play podcast. My name is Brian, and I'm here with...
My name is Nate.
Christian.
I'm Brandon.
Jalen.
All right, so we're going to go into our first segment. Game 7 just happened a few days ago, but just want to see what everybody's takeaways are. So we'll start with, what's up with Jalen? What's your biggest takeaway from Game 7?
My biggest takeaway from Game 7 is that Jimmy Butler needs help. Like, he needs a different star, another star that can really help him, because by himself, he got that team to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. So I feel like with another star, that he should be able to win the championship next season.
Great. So me, I feel like my biggest takeaway from Game 7 was how important role players are at home and on the road. We saw just throughout the entire series how important Mark Smart, Al Horford were. Payne Pritchard didn't play that much, but you got Matt Strus out there hooping. Gabe Vincent was giving his all as well. So I mean, I think that's going to come into play in the next series too.
I think the Heat, I don't know where you go from here.
Down.
I mean, Jimmy, what, 30, 32, 33?
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry,
Yeah.
about 35.
Yeah.
Both of them together, about 85 million. And then you got Duncan, didn't play a minute, 90 million.
Crazy.
So,
Crazy.
I don't know. They can probably package Lowry and Duncan and maybe a pick or two and send them to a bottom feeder team for maybe a young player again. But Strauss coming up too, so it's like, are you going to pay him? You going to let him walk?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not really for the Celtics. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do. It was just Jimmy Butler. It was just him. So, they beat them, and we'll see what happens.
I think I'm going to build on what OG DeMarco had just said about the role players, the importance of role players. With the Celtics, you saw that a lot of the role players did show up, like Derek White. He in those last two games when they were down, they were trying to finish the series. Derek White had a good game in Game 6, and in Game 7 he came back as well. And you see with the Heat, a lot of their role players, their key role players didn't show up. It was really Jimmy and Bam getting all the work done on offense. Max Strus showed up a little bit in the third and the fourth quarter. But you see how essential it is for role players to show up. The Heat only lost by 4. And if they get some contribution from the role players, they probably win that game easily.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway from Game 7 is that Boston needs to work on their late game situations, because going into this series against Golden State, you're not going to be able to blow 13-point leads and think that you're going to be able to hold on and win. They were very fortunate that Jimmy Butler missed that last shot, or we would be talking about the epic collapse that the Celtics had, and we probably would be trying to figure out what they're going to do in the offseason right now instead of praising them for getting to the finals. So they definitely need to develop some sort of killer mentality. There's no reason why you should be up 13 with 3.5 minutes left and it'd be a heart attack for your fans for like the last 3.5 minutes.
It definitely was. Yeah, that was crazy. If he hit that, I mean, I said it before, but like when we talking private, I said like if Jimmy hit that 3, he's probably, in my eyes, like his Hall of Fame like chances go up like that much. Game 7 conference finals against the Celtics, that's generational. But I think like my takeaway honestly from the series is that Miami, like I don't know how far they go. Bam's their like second best player. Like they need another shot creator. Like Bam's a talented player, a great defender, like versatile at his position. But like when I look at him as if you want somebody to score the basketball and he's your second best option, he ain't like when it's money time. I don't think he's gonna be really like able to do it. So I think more than anything, they really need to get like a shot creator, like someone who can just like get their own shot, like operate off the bounce. You said what?
Max Strus.
Wouldn't that be Tyler Hero?
It will be Tyler Hero, yeah. I think they need a better version.
Tyler Hero was hurt though.
Tyler don't play defense though, man.
That's what
doesn't.
I don't like.
They gonna keep rotating these.
I think
But the question is, do you really need defense from him when you already got 4 other guys
Yes.
around him that can play
Guard,
defense?
No, because
Yeah.
when you look at all the teams that's left, or even the teams that was before, you was either getting picked on defense because you was still on the court, or you can do both.
But can
And we going to probably look at Steph Curry and be like, no, he can't play defense, but he's dramatically gotten better since he started playing defense.
That's
like
good.
he started putting effort into it.
That's a good point, but I would also say, can't you kind of scheme against it just with like hedging around screens and stuff to make sure that people don't easily just switch on like that?
You can say that
Because they did that because Golden State was able to keep Luka from switching on too.
But you can say
Switch on
that,
stuff.
but actually doing it is different, especially with a team like the Celtics where you have
players like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who know how to hunt the mismatches.
Yeah.
I don't remember what game it was, but Max Strus was holding his own in one of the games, but they were hunting him on defense. And no matter how hard the Heat would have tried to hide him, you can just set screen after screen, and eventually they'll have to switch. Or you're leaving a good shooter wide open for a jump shot.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Either wide open for a jump shot or wide open for a drive to the lane, and then he's one-on-one with Bam Adebayo, and then potential foul trouble. So you have to switch eventually. You can just try to hedge and do all the other stuff, but eventually the switch is going to come. You saw with that series, they hunted those mismatches with Max Strus. When Duncan did play, when Tyler did play, they were hunting those matchups. So that'll just keep happening no matter who it is.
The thing with Hero and the Heat is like when they put out that 5, they always got at least 2, maybe 3 people that you can hunt, other than Jimmy, and then maybe Bam you can't hunt him, but you can just put him in foul trouble. Mm-hmm. And if you put Strus and Duncan and Hero out there, you may score 130 points, but it's going to be 140 put on you because it's no defense. Like it's simple.
Peter Tuck on the team too.
Kyle Lowry can play.
I don't know if Devo's going to be there.
No, Kyle Lowry.
That was a nice try though.
A healthy Kyle Lowry can't play defense.
I think the thing with Kyle Lowry,
there's no such thing as a healthy.
I think
He wasn't healthy though this series.
Yeah,
in 2022, we still on Kyle Lowry.
He's only getting older.
I'm looking at him at game 6. Like he didn't have like the greatest stat line, but the effort was there.
Exactly.
Like
It didn't show on the stat sheet.
It is so the stat sheet.
Effort in drawing fouls. That's
No.
Game
I'm
six,
talking about on
game
defense too. Like he was a
Game
gnat.
six,
How many times he touched the floor? How many times he landed on the floor?
That's what.
There were a couple times he was able to
Bro.
get steals in what was it, game 3 when he had a couple of key steals late in the game.
I don't even want to continue this conversation.
All right.
We're not going to keep talking about Kyle Lowry. You said Jimmy was you said it was going to rise up his Hall of Fame, like.
If he is
Is he not?
But
Hall of
I
Fame?
think he already Hall of
He already is
Fame.
a Hall of Fame. He already is a Hall of Fame.
No,
Whoa.
I don't think so.
I'm in the very minority.
I don't think
Like
Grant was in the Hall of Fame. How far did Jimmy?
Graham's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Jimmy's
Wow.
going to the
Is it because it's probably because of Duke though?
Yeah, because
Jimmy's
No, for us, because of Duke.
Because of Kyle.
The Hall of Fame considers like your whole basketball career.
Now I will say
Does
this.
Jimmy have a gold medal?
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
he does.
He
He
was
does.
on-
2016.
Okay.
Yeah, nobody plays. Yeah.
I was gonna say though.
He might have been Melo was the captain, but Jimmy was like second on that.
But like Christian Laettner's in the Hall of Fame. It's not because of his NBA career.
Yeah.
You put it
I
all
was gonna
together.
say,
You
but
put Mark
Bomani
Taylor.
Yes, I guess.
I was gonna say, but Bomani Jones made a good point because he was like, you've never seen anybody that's taken somebody to the finals, whether it was on the winning side or the losing side, that hasn't made the Hall of Fame. So since Jimmy did take Miami to the Hall of Fame, he would technically
You mean the finals?
He would technically, to the finals. My bad, Joe.
Yeah,
To the finals, he would be basically not a lock, but he has a very good Hall of Fame.
he's a Hall of Famer. I just don't think he's
So what does that say
valid.
about Devin Booker then?
That's all I'm about to say.
Devin Booker.
Was Devin Booker the best player?
But Devin.
On
No, be real. Hold on. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Said
Let's be real.
CP3 got that team to the finals.
Because they were talking about CP3 like he was the best player on the
They
team.
talk.
They talk like he did.
What's real? What's real? Who?
What do we think?
D Book dropped 40 in the finals.
Twice, right? He did that shit twice.
We're not talking about what the public perceives Chris Paul. What do we think about the best player on their team?
It was
Devin
Devin Booker.
That's what we think, right? Or
I mean, I think Devin was the best.
okay.
Don't,
I'm asking.
but don't the media
But like from the
Hall of Fame,
voters' perspective,
There's
they may
a
see it.
commission for that.
They
For
may
the Hall of
see it as
Fame,
Chris
there's
Paul.
like a commission.
At 26, his trajectory is.
Yeah, he's on his
Yeah,
way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just like.
Yeah.
He has a similar
win a championship with
trajectory to Jimmy Butler.
I think we'll get one though.
Except without the defense and stuff, they could be similar level players with the similar accolades, all-star appearances, gold medals. He might get more gold medals than Jimmy does just because he's younger.
Yeah.
As long as he actually
I
plays.
see him getting at least one. He's
What you
getting at
gotta
least
do at
one.
this point is make 7 All-Star games and 1 All-NBA team. You're gonna make the Hall of Fame. Kyle Lowry's in the
Yeah,
Hall of
Jason
Fame at this
Tatum's a
point.
Hall of Fame.
He is a Hall of Famer.
Lock at this point too, right?
Tatum.
This is a question of first
Jason
ballot.
Tatum. I'm saying using that.
He is
no,
not
no,
like it.
I'm saying.
I know he's got the gold. I know he's got.
No, I'm saying using
But
that.
I know he's got the gold medal and he took him to the finals. So you got a point.
That's probably enough.
This is not being a prisoner of the
And like
moment,
he-
though.
what is
That's
he?
all I'm saying.
How old is Jason Tatum?
So Al Horford is a Hall of Famer.
18.
You said what?
We've got to have that talk. Al Horford's a Hall of Famer.
If he was a rig, yeah.
How many All-Star games?
Nah,
No, but you got to count the 2 college championships, and you got to count what he did. You got to count.
Did he really go college that?
Yes.
Christian Laettner's in the Hall of Fame. He ain't
How many times we
Jack
He
in
was on
the
the Dream
NBA.
Team though.
I think he was on the.
Say no.
I think he's on
Is that to the
the.
podcast?
I think he's on the Dream Team though. Christian Laettner, I think he's only in like as a part because they inducted the entire team.
And Duke though.
Christian Laettner is by himself in the Hall of Fame.
I don't-
That can't be true.
Nah, not by
I
that
don't
can't
think
be
he
true.
is. I think he's
don't
only
weigh
in
that
as
much.
because
We'll
they
get
inducted
Kenny
the
But
entire
Al Horford
team.
does have
We're gonna
a
find
pretty
out.
long NBA career combined with a
Yeah,
bunch
Al
of
Horford has a
stuff.
case, and he was on that Hawks team.
That Hawks
Yeah.
team. Exactly.
Yeah, he
Nah,
was on
that
that.
Hawks
That Hawks
team.
team.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he's enshrined for his individual career.
That's
Really?
disgusting.
Yeah.
Individual.
Well, I mean, he's on one of the best college teams of all time, so it's hard to take that.
He's
from
one of
him.
the best college
Because of
players
that
of all time.
stupid shot he hit.
Is he?
That fluke shot.
He had
Is
a
he one of the
couple
best college players of all time?
Yeah.
Yes,
Laettner?
this is
Yeah,
legit.
yeah.
He went to the Final Four every single season.
Why do you think they picked him over Shaq?
He's one
I
of
think
the
it's
leaders.
over.
That was crazy. They picked him up.
I think he only there because he stayed 4 years.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it helps you become one of the greatest. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar wouldn't be
Because
the
I'm
greatest
taking
if he did
KD
it for 4 years.
over in college.
You're talking
Over
No, we're
about-
talking about
career.
accomplishments. We're not
About
talking about
accomplishments.
the best.
Greatest
That's what I'm saying.
always
Hey, what's his name?
come.
Drew Timmy went to the ring with Gonzaga this
He's
year.
not going
What
to.
you about to say? That he's going to the Hall of Fame?
That boy going to Springfield.
He might.
That boy going to Springfield.
He might using that Christian Laettner line.
Gonzaga
That
won
would,
it.
that would have to end the Hall of Fame.
Wait,
Really
no,
don't.
is next year an
Really
Olympic
don't
year? They
think-
might pick him up just now.
No, they're not gonna do that again.
That's
They're not gonna do that again.
Drew Timmy. I mean, he gonna be playing international. Might as well.
Chinese Hall of Fame.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He gonna be the secret.
You can win
You ain't gonna give Stephon
Those
Marbury?
are international stats.
Y'all seen the
Drew Timmy going to be
No,
crazy numbers in Europe.
Drew Timmy will put up
Oh
numbers in
my
Europe.
goodness.
You gonna
Them
see
G Leagues, ooh. Them G League stats gonna look crazy.
Oh my goodness. Hold on for Brandon's point. I know he said that Miami is really stuck, but like, I'm gonna start with Jalen. What do you think Miami could do to improve their team during
Oh,
the
their
offseason?
roster?
Yeah.
They're cooked.
Ah.
Dang. Okay.
I said
Really?
I said Jimmy Butler needs another star. I didn't say they couldn't get him another star. It's
There's a route.
what can they do?
There's a route to get one.
There's a
route without overpaying.
It would be a crazy.
There's
They would have to sell the future.
They have to.
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't Hero?
And that's real similar to what the
I
Lakers
think he
did.
is.
They would have to
I
sign.
think-
The Lakers won championship.
No. I
He's the
think
one that'd be crazy.
I think what we may really see is you gotta watch what happens in Sacramento because they put all them pieces to get DeMontis Sabonis. If he is not, or that team is not at least near 500, they're just gonna blow that all the way up.
So that's for
And I think
trade
De'Aaron
deadline.
Fox is
I
gonna
was
be
about to say, so De'Aaron
available.
Fox to Miami? Is that what
So
you're saying?
if you could put in
Is
De'Aaron Fox, how many years does Lowry have? 1 or 2 years left?
He's got like 2, I think.
If he got 2 years left, you guys see if they want to take that, and you throw in Duncan, Kyle Lowry, and you get back De'Aaron and somebody else like some
You gotta throw
throwaway
some picks in
players.
there.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
And
if
with the
De'Aaron's
Kings,
what-
Kings taking chunky butt from De'Aaron Fox.
With the Kings.
That's crazy.
I mean, considering that they just traded.
I'm
Tyrese
talking-
Halliburton,
I'm speaking in
there's
terms of blow
anything
up.
is possible.
Because you saw what I mean. In terms of like the Pacers took a little bit less. Like Tyrese, of course we knew he was good, but we ain't see him putting up 20 and 15 games right off the bat.
Right.
But we thought Sabonis was worth a little bit more than what they got for just Tyrese and one other piece.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying.
What's he,
No, they added that
29?
into.
Yeah.
He about 29.
Like 20 years.
He's pretty old.
He's pretty old.
If
for
DeMontis not
that
top
big.
out, DeMontis can get better from that.
No, I
Yeah,
that is
he's
so.
like 22, 23.
Cat.
No way, he's like 26.
He been there
How old is
since
Sabonis?
2016.
Like
He was on that Thunder team with Russ.
Come on
He's
now.
like 27.
His rookie year.
You talking about like Gum Guinness bonus?
He's like
No, he's saying how old
23.
Sabonis is not
About
26.
26,
He's
No,
like
he's
he's
like
got to be at least
25,
25,
He's like
26.
23.
There's no way he's 23.
Demonis Sabonis is 26 years old.
Yeah,
I'm saying
26.
there's no
He
way he's
just turned
23. That's it.
Nah,
He
but
just turned
May
26?
3rd, he just turned 26.
and also, I agree with JG though. Like Miami doesn't really have like that many avenues to go.
They're going to have to really like overpay. Like,
I think there's 3 things they can do. Honestly, like I don't like we talk about like the need for like a second like shot like just to score or just someone who can like create offense. They're not gonna get that, but nah, I don't think they will. Like
Yeah,
the way their team is and like
I'm about to say that.
the contract situation set up, but I'd say re-signing Oladipo is probably the best idea. Now the reason I say
No,
because they
I get what
traded
you're saying.
him. They got bird rights. Like when they did the 1 year deal, they have his bird rights, so they can sign for like a mid level. It's gonna be below like $20 million. Nah, like are you for real?
My thing is,
He's an all NBA player. Like
what?
you pay him like less than
Miami,
20.
What? He's a
Miami is so good at finding talent. Bro, just let them all walk.
Nah,
at
that's
this point.
crazy.
You can't
Because
do that.
they
Just
just
hold on.
got Gabe, they just got Duncan Robinson, they just got Max Strus, all off of just straight scouting. Like it was not no getting them in lotteries or anything like that.
Yeah,
What
but
they replace him with? Never got
The
it.
same way that they found them. Because you ain't no Duncan or Max Strus
They're not
before
gonna
they was
strike gold every
playing on
year,
the
though.
Heat.
Exactly.
They've been striking gold for years since they started as a franchise.
They're good at developing players, but it's not like they pick up like somebody off the street every single year and they have some
Like they have to
come
develop first. Before
Yeah,
I
they
think
just-
I don't know, but I think if we look back at their rosters and we probably look at one or two players, you'd be like, damn, I ain't know they
Duncan
was.
Robinson, like everyone talks about Robinson, sure, but who else has like got to that level previously? Whiteside, but that was like how many years between those two guys?
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. So
So
it's
it
like,
takes time.
But
to
it
take
makes
time
time.
to
No,
develop.
but we
They
talk.
develop role players, not.
Stars.
Not stars. They need
They
stars.
don't. I mean, and no team.
But for them
develops.
to, you
Stars.
let all them go. None of them three is. You can try.
oh,
So-
Debo
so-
for less
so-
than 20 mil a year is not crazy.
So DeMarco,
That
what
is
do you
crazy.
think?
That's not crazy.
So like 18, 19.
Was you watching
Yeah, he's
Game
below
7?
mid-level.
You would pay him that?
You was watching Game 7?
Yeah,
Oladipo.
he gives
Nah,
him
you can't do that.
he gives him a two-way presence
I'm
that
not-
other players on the
alright,
team don't give
alright.
him.
What
So
is two way? What is two way mean?
On both sides of the ball.
What is he doing on offense?
Bro, he just came back from
What are you
injury.
talking about?
He just came back from
He
injury.
been
The whole
coming back
year.
from
Coming back
injury
for like
for
3 years now. I'm about to say.
So-
He been hurt.
But he's fully healthy. He's fully
He's
healthy.
not fully healthy. It's clear he's not.
So here's
He don't have no
here's what I'm
He
thinking.
could be
The
done.
only way I'm paying Oladipo is if, and this is a long shot because we know this probably isn't gonna happen. But it would have to be I'm getting Levine or Beal in a sign and trade, and I can move that contract. That's the only way
If
I'm
you
signing.
doing that, you gotta clean your team.
Yes,
has
he's
to
right.
be
Him,
gutted.
Duncan Robinson.
You gotta
a
clean
couple
that whole
of-
team
one more
out.
person and some picks.
Nobody's taking Duncan Robinson.
And no-
you gotta put a lot of.
You
picks
getting
in.
Bill is not.
They
alright.
could trade
How is
him,
that?
though.
How is that not good?
Hold on.
Bradley
Beal
Beal
is-
has shown that.
The Wizards.
Hold on.
traded Bill
Bradley
for-
Beal has shown that he could be a number 2 scorer.
Bill
on
is a
championship.
combination
On a
of Tyler
champ
Hero and
Here we go.
Victor Oladipo.
No,
That's what Bill
they're
is.
not.
You put Bill on the Heat, and they are hunting that man again. They are hunting him again.
Is Bill that bad?
Wait,
Nah,
when
he's
is
not
Gordon
that
Bill
bad.
been
He's
a
not that
championship
bad, dog.
option, a second option on championship team? When?
That Washington team.
Remember that? Them the only teams he played on.
Oh,
Auto
Let
Porter
me,
was
let
the
me,
second
let me,
option on
let
that
me
team.
take. On
That's
a
why they paid
contender,
him
he could be a
$20
second
million.
option. But do you
Auto
think?
Porter's
Do you
second
think?
option, though.
Do you think it could be a second option on
I
the
think
Heat,
I think
and they
it's
could go
a
and win
second
a
option.
championship?
No. I think if they really want to make that move, I think they need to shoot for the stars, and I think shooting for the stars is our boy Donovan Mitchell. Honestly, I don't know whether or not he's.
If
I
you
don't
want to
know
get,
whether-
y'all just want to
it's-
get 100
no.
because y'all don't want no two-way players
The
at this
Heat
point.
have to sacrifice some form of defense if they want to.
So then why not go get?
No,
So then
they're
why not go
going
get
to
Beal
win.
instead of Mitchell?
No,
Bill's not better.
Are you sure?
Are you
they
sure?
got the generational
Bradley
talent
Beal
in
is
the
not better
center.
than Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, I see where CT's coming from. Like Donovan Mitchell's like a generational playoff performer.
Yes.
Like he's one of the best. No, he is. He is. Since his rookie year. No. That's not even
They about
crazy.
to start.
They about to
talking
start
about-
efficiency.
they about to start
Crazy.
talking about percentages.
Efficiency.
It's not even crazy.
Playoff time.
That's not even
Get the
crazy.
shots
They
up.
didn't say the word generation 3 times.
You know what's crazy? I get it. Like he is a really good player based on the stats, but they call him generational. It's kind of crazy.
It
No?
is, that is generational.
I didn't
He
know
was
it.
like
I
from
heard
year
it.
If
one.
he was so
4 times
generational,
generational.
how he
From
get
year one.
outplayed by Spencer Dinwiddie and
That's
Jalen
One
Brunson?
because
year
that
when he
team could not guard a traffic cone in general.
So
That's
why
all.
would you put him on the Heat?
Because if you need somebody to get a bucket, give it to Donovan Mitchell.
But if we
You're
get
not
Donovan
gonna-
Mitchell, why not just go get
So
Bradley Beal?
what's
Average 30.
You go
He's
get
average
Donovan
30 in the
Mitchell. What's
season.
the upgrade of him?
He's average 30 in the season.
He was
In
putting
the
up
regular
30. Who was the
season.
second, third, fourth option on that
So
team?
to
Who
get
was
Donovan
the most
Mitchell, are you
scoring
trading
player?
Hero?
He was scoring 30 with
You
Russell.
said what?
No,
Yeah,
no.
you trade him
Russ,
that situation.
wasn't Russ on that team when he was scoring 30?
What team you talking about?
When they went to the
When Bradley Beal
You
averaged
said Bradley Beal.
Russ
proved
didn't
he
start
could score
playing for
30.
real until after the All-Star break, though.
No, but my point. So if he can score 30 with that type of team, why can't he? Why can't he
score
at
30
least?
there?
No, why can't he at least get you 20, 25 on Miami?
It's a little
He-
different.
No,
with Jimmy
It's a little
Butler.
different Miami when Don
I don't
Haslam
think
talks
Bradley
to you.
Beal is
The light bright.
It's a
Like a little brighter?
It's a little different than Don Haslam and Jimmy Butler talking to you in practice, man.
I think we
Yeah.
talking about.
Brad ain't been there.
I think we talking about all the types of wrong players for this team. Like
What two-way player are you getting from
Need Paul
Miami?
George.
Because Joel Embiid
They
is
could
not.
really,
he's
they
not
not
good
getting
for
they
the
could really
Rockets.
use
All
Chris
right.
Middleton right now.
they could really use
Nah,
it
for
like
real,
a
yeah,
Chris
he's
Middleton
good.
type of
But
player.
he's not going anywhere.
They're not getting Jalen Brown, but he's not leaving. Like we're talking about
Jaylen
people who can
Brown's
play
not too
offense
bad.
and
But
defense.
that's my point about
That's the
bringing
point.
old.
That's why you need
Hold on,
a
say
like
that.
Nate was saying. You need a
Wait.
shot. You need a shot creator for that team.
You're not yet.
Or somebody that can go get you a bucket, so Jimmy can rest. That's why I was saying somebody like Bill. That's probably why they said Donovan Mitchell. Like you need somebody that can go get a bucket and allow Jimmy to have Jimmy time to run.
If you just fill it up with some dogs, I mean, like I'm talking in terms of Terrence Mann, Davion Mitchell. You get a lot of young players that already have that defense there, like a Lou Dort, and then you put them on the team.
Why are you
Hold on. Let's be serious.
So you're making the spacing even worse on that team?
No, I'm saying they can get better. They can grow as a team.
Not Terrence Mann.
Because sometimes you gotta rebuild as a team without becoming a bottom feeder of a team. Right. Because there's no way you getting a player right now that's not gonna gut that whole team and just have 3 players. And there's no third player that you're gonna get that's good enough that's gonna make just them 3 players worth it to get a championship.
Right? That's why I think they're cut. Whatever deal you make, Bam will still be on.
Plus, if you add a Bill or Donovan Mitchell, that allows Bam Adebayo to be the third option, so that way he can focus on just playing defense. And then his hold on, he can listen. He can focus on playing defense, and he can give you 15 and 10, and him giving you 15 and 10 won't be crazy.
That's crazy because looking at them runs he was putting on Tatum and Jaylen Brown on Team USA, he should not be giving 15 points. He should be more than 15.
But he was averaging 18 and 10 this season. So why are you asking?
Because
you're asking him to give you more. But you're asking him to give you more because you expect him to be your number 2 option. If he's your number 3, you don't have to ask him to do that.
No, he needs to become the number 2.
He was.
Yeah, Tyler Hero was off the bench.
No, I'm talking about like late in the series.
Here's the thing. He needs to be number 2. We're at a point in the NBA where he needs to be number 2.
That's what I'm saying. The Heat's path to getting better is Bam playing like a number 2 option, actually.
Because if you look at the way he played at the beginning versus the end, like he was taking floaters in Game 7.
And he needs to shoot the ball. They were saying, I remember back in the bubble, they were saying Bam can shoot, he just doesn't. And I know for a fact.
That's a lot.
I know for a fact, if Bam put in work to shoot the ball, he could hit a mid-range.
He's good, like 50 feet out. Like he's got.
He could hit a mid-range jumper.
Yeah.
But people aren't gonna guard him out there. He doesn't have to. And you see how Bam plays. If he goes straight up against people, he's not really dunking over. He's not Dwight Howard the way people thought in high school.
It's sad. Because if he was 6'9", 6'10", running this floor, while the rest of the team is running the floor with him,
He wasn't watching the Slam mixtapes.
it's
A lot of what he does too is like when he's in the open floor, he'll get deep into the paint, just post up and like look the pass.
and turn into Draymond Green.
I just don't think like it's his nature to be a scorer. That's why I'm saying like you get somebody else to come and compliment Jimmy Butler as a scorer. But if we
you either make that his nature.
That's
Or you
literally
tell
what
him
I'm
to go.
we take like a couple steps back. Like realistically, when we talk about like Mitchell and Beal, you gotta gut that. Not only do you gotta gut that roster, you're probably gonna give up like Strus. You're probably gonna give up Robinson. You're probably gonna give up what's that center's name? Omar.
You're 7.
And you're probably gonna give up like multiple first round picks.
So
And you can also throw Oladipo. They're not gonna take Kyle
Lowry's gonna still be on that team?
Because he's not a new deal.
They're not gonna
join
get.
his
They will take Oladipo and Robinson.
Lowry contract, Bam contract, Jimmy contract, and then Bill or Mitchell. That team's gonna be awful.
Give him every.
How is that team gonna be
Give him
awful?
every single pick for
I
Tyler Hero.
don't think they do that. I don't think you gut the team. I just think you as much as you guys think it's crazy.
Take Shea though. You gotta get Kyle Lowry out of there.
You re-sign Oladipo. You can trade Robinson for somebody like a Harrison Barnes or a Lauri Markkanen. No, I'm saying.
Finish, man.
No, I'm not. I'm saying they're
not.
not.
PJ Tucker's already there.
They're ultimate. You said what?
But PJ Tucker's already there. So what's going
For
on?
Harrison Barnes, you can bolster the bench. You can have some.
That's crazy, man.
Okay.
Harrison Barnes
will get the start over.
Harrison Barnes can come off the bench.
I'm be honest with you.
Harrison Barnes to start over PJ Tucker.
I forgot Harrison Barnes.
Who's the 6th man in this scenario?
No.
I think Tyler Hero's a 6
Saying we don't need to add nobody new because we got PJ Tucker.
No, but I'm
saying Harrison
Barnes
Barnes,
because
that's a big contract.
You get shooting back. That's my point. Like you're not gonna get that second option, but you can still bolster this team while getting rid of like Duncan Robinson, who's like a clear net negative, and you can take someone like Harrison Barnes. I wouldn't say as much of a net negative as Robinson on defense, but he's somewhat more playable when it's like crunch time in the playoffs. That's my takeaway. You're not gonna get that second option. If you do, you're gutting that roster.
Maybe SGA.
I like it.
Yeah.
Why would OKC give him up?
But if you're gonna get
Maybe
too old.
Maybe SGA.
But if you're gonna get SGA, then you have to get Kyle Lowry.
You're still gonna cut.
That's okay.
Okay.
You do whatever you do to get SGA. Because at that point, you can phase Butler out at whatever age he's going, and then you can move forward with Bam and SGA. And you tell, no matter what the scenario is, you got to tell Bam he has to be more aggressive. We can't hide him and tell him he need to be a third or fourth option and he can just sit and play defense. That's not going to work in this world. Huh?
I think the only way you can make that trade happen is a bunch of picks.
You have to, like,
you know how
sell. You
Sam
still have to
Presti
sell.
is.
Yeah.
You would have to trade a bunch of picks.
And
That's
look,
fine.
and look,
It's
man.
like
And you
three
gotta
first-round
you gotta
picks,
probably trade Tyler Hero too.
You say SGA's gonna take over
But
for
do y'all
Butler?
think OKC
Yes.
is going to take Tyler Hero over SGA?
SGA is him. If you ain't been watching,
He is nice.
he's very
nice,
nice.
but
You don't know
Jimmy to
That's
take
not
over Jimmy's spot.
SGA.
Are you willing? Are you
He's
willing to
solid.
give up Tyler Hero for SGA?
Street saying he better than
Yes.
Donovan.
Yeah.
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 He might be better than
Oh,
Donovan.
for sure. That's
I'd
not
give you
question.
Tyler
SGA.
Hero. Give me Kyle
SGA is better than
I almost think about
Okay then.
It comes down to the contracts. I don't think, for example, I don't even think Hero's contract matches SGA's, right? Because he got extended.
His would be a sign and trade though.
Oh, okay.
And whatever he gets on the market will probably be similar or close enough to SGA.
You're talking about for Hero. Oh,
Yeah, because
gotcha.
Hero
Yeah.
has to get a contract to get traded.
Which is
You
crazy.
think
That's
they'll give
so
him? You
crazy.
think he'll give him a
Maybe
max
Jeremy
extension?
Grant at this point.
Yeah, you can dump him out to Detroit. That's not crazy.
Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant would be up.
But at the same time, does Hero technically have to agree to the location where he's getting traded?
No, he
No,
doesn't. Because remember
Not
the
necessarily.
Bogdan situation when
Yeah.
the Bucks traded for him, but then they ended up getting Drew. So it was like,
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
they wasn't getting a ring with Bogdan. I'm sorry.
All right, enough about that team. Let's talk about the finals.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the finals.
All right, so yeah.
Are we
Predictions.
talking about the finals? Or are we
You want
talking
me to start
about?
my prediction?
Well, before we get to predictions, just give me a
Like which team and how many games?
not that yet. Not that
Okay.
yet. Just tell me, what do you think this series is gonna look like? Like,
What's
do you
it
think?
look like?
No.
Yeah, like, do you think it's gonna be physical? What type of matchups? What do you like? How are you
Tell me
seeing
that
it? How are you seeing it playing out?
And before we start,
But don't give your actual
before we start, we filming this 1 hour before the final starts. So if whoever wins tonight, don't think we would like cheating in our predictions.
That's fair. Yep.
This is before game one. Of
This is
the finals.
before game one, y'all.
It's just coming out after.
8:00 at June 2nd. Yep.
Honestly,
Summer
Go
Jam,
ahead.
Summer Jam.
Yeah, go ahead, Gigi.
What I think it's gonna look like.
Speak up a little bit.
Probably not that much different from the 2015 finals when the Warriors won. It's probably gonna be real similar to that, where Steph and them's gonna be great. And probably Wiggins is gonna just replace what Iggy did, play defense on Tatum. So we're gonna see how that works out. But then
you don't be
I think
watching
Curry's-
ball.
I think-
You don't be watching
I
ball.
think Curry's gonna try to probably chase Finals MVP. So we're gonna see how he does.
You think this is the year he
If
wins
he's
it?
doing that, if he's chasing finals, if he's playing consciously thinking about finals MVP, I don't think he's gonna play too good.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
Wiggins is playing like Iggy did in 2015, then
On
Wiggins
defense.
is winning Finals MVP.
Oh my god.
No, you're right.
All right, what you think, DeMarco?
I think the series is gonna be 2 blowout games by the Warriors. I say maybe 1 win or 2 if we get lucky by the Celtics. That's how I see it going.
The
Honestly,
Celtics fan, man, that's crazy.
I'm being real realistic.
Wow.
I mean, I know the
That's
team we up
realistic.
against. I mean, they championship experience, man. I mean, no, we had a playoff experience for the last 5 years or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing the same thing, but at least they've been winning championships, right? So they know what it takes to get there, what it takes to win. And I think the biggest thing we'll see is probably defense in this series. That's gonna be a
both
good something to
teams,
look at.
both teams is what top
They-
5? in
top
defense?
two,
Yeah, top two
Top
defensively.
2. Top 2.
Yeah, Celtics number 1 and Warriors number 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think I think this series going to depend on Kevon Looney for real.
okay.
Like he
No,
no,
that's fine.
no,
Okay.
he going up against Robert Williams and Al Horford, and he was putting up 20 games. He was doing things that DeAndre Ayton couldn't do,
Talk to
That's a good
him.
point.
and
That's
I
a good
think
point. Yeah.
they basically won the series off the fact that Maxi Kleber wasn't going crazy, and Davis Bertans wasn't going crazy. Maxi Kleber was putting up 20-25 point games on DeAndre Ayton, and they lost the series.
Hold on. You give him credit for not letting Davis Bertans go crazy.
I mean, it was almost that simple. If you don't let Al Horford put up damn 25 and 20, then I think they'll be in a good place. It's really that simple.
25,
I'll hope
20,
you even
that's
get that
nuts.
many shot attempts.
So I'm
Close to that.
but it
man.
just depends on how well Kevon Looney plays. I mean, it's evident that Wiseman is probably not going to be there,
Probably.
Like,
That boy's home.
but
He's
in
watching
the
with
crib
us.
right
He's watching with us.
with them, because Gary Payton II is back, quote unquote.
Yeah.
If
Available.
Kevon Looney is consistent at center, they can basically just run like 10 different iterations of like the first 4, and it doesn't even matter because you know you have 2 anchors in Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. But if that starts to crumble in on itself and you have Robert Williams and you have Al Horford just doing what they want in the paint and Grant Williams, you know, all them 6'8" guys just doing what they need to do, then it's going to get a little crazy. Other than that, I feel like Curry's going to do what he need to do because he got Clay back. So Clay going to hit his shots, and then it probably depends on Jordan Poole as well. I don't know if the light's going to be too bright. If he's going to try to start doing and one moves in the finals.
I think a key thing from this finals, a lot of the discussion has really been Warriors based. I think the finals will be a little bit closer than people think, at least in terms of the total games. I don't know if game by game the games are going to be close. I actually think today is going to be a blowout either way. I don't know who's going to win, but I think the game is going to be a blowout. I think these teams match up pretty decently. I don't think there's too many players on either side who you can hunt, at least in the rotations. Of course, the Celtics have Peyton Pritchard. The Warriors have Jordan Poole, who maybe you could go at. But even he's at least athletic in comparison to Peyton Pritchard. But there's not as many players that you can hunt on either side defensively. So that'll make sure that everybody shows up offensively. Marcus Smart, players like that on the Celtics, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, Grant Williams. Brian said this in our group chat a couple series ago. Those type of players are going to have to hit shots in this series because this series, the defense will win the championship in this series, in this case.
Okay, so kind of is Brandon kind of talked about it a little bit, but I think the X factor for me is going to be Gary Payton II's health, because as Brandon kind of said, that allows you to have different iterations, and I do think if Gary Payton is healthy, we're not going to see that much of Kevon Looney. This is why, because I feel like the Celtics are probably going to end up going small, because Robert Williams and Looney, because Looney's not going to go as crazy as he did against obviously the Mavericks and against Memphis when he's getting all the offensive rebounds and stuff because of Robert Williams and stuff. Now I think Golden State's going to want to try to keep Robert Williams off the floor as much as possible and have Al playing the 5. So I think if you're able to put GP2 in there, you're able to have Steph, Clay, a good defender in GP2, Wiggins playing the 4, and then of course Dre at the 5.
What they called him again?
Williams out the game.
What they called him again?
What they call him?
PTSD? What is the name they called him?
I don't know what they call
the
him.
PTSD line. But Draymond isn't a player who you put at the 5 and you force yourself to take Rob out the game. He may force you to take one of the bigs out the game, but you're not forced to take Rob Williams specifically out the game.
Well, not him specifically, but my point is,
Draymond hit a 3 or 2 though.
But the point is,
I'm so serious.
Hold on. But my point basically is, you can go with those 5, and you can and you're forcing Boston to only
play one big.
One big on the floor at a time. So that's why I'm saying I think GP2's help is going to be the biggest.
He might look at Wiggins and say, "Let him shoot." Honestly,
all right.
He's a 40% 3-point shooter.
No, we're getting
Exactly. We've had this conversation before about leaving players.
I'll say this. All right, just taking a look at this series, I think the Warriors are running into the defense that they haven't in kind of the slow postseason run. I think legit 1 through 5, and as much as I like to bash on the Celtics, I'm a Lakers fan XYZ. Literally 1 through 5 on that team, especially on that starting lineup, is a net positive on defense. They can switch everything. They got length.
Analytics.
No, I think they're going to give the Warriors problems, and I think Poole is really going to get hunted on defense a lot. It's going to be gritty. I think the Warriors are honestly at times going to struggle, just trying to score against this defense, and I think it's going to come down to the Warriors when they hit those dry patches. They just need to hit tough shots and just stay course of the game. And then also for Boston too, we saw in the last series, they can be a little bit careless with the ball. And the problem with that is that if you let the Warriors run in transition, especially off of turnovers, they will punish you for that.
They score 3s, not 2s in transition.
Yeah, exactly. They will get those 3s up in transition. So we'll see. I think it's going to be. The series is probably. It's going to be a lot longer than I think people are intending, and I think a lot of people come in with this perception that the Warriors are going to run them out due to experience and whatnot, which is fair. But I think Boston's Brazilian. I think EMA got those guys especially when it gets down and rough. He's a good coach in terms of just motivating his team. And yeah, and that being said, also I think I agree with CT as well. I think this first game is going to be a blowout. I think the Warriors win this game just because. I just say that because the Celtics didn't have as much rest as they did. I think they're a little tired, but we'll see. I could be wrong.
Man, if you're tired after 4 days, you ain't no more.
It was a hard 7-game series, though, man.
That's a good point.
You said, I'm not sure how you said it, but you said the Celtics would take Barnes off the court and put Al Horford at the 5.
Yes.
Why would they do that?
I would just take Al Horford out the game.
That's not right. The game.
Well, my thought with that was like Al would space the floor and things of that nature. And stuff like that offensively. But defensively, you would obviously want Rob in the game. Yeah. But
my thing is, how much
you probably just have Al on Dre, probably, and then just figure it out from there.
How much do you think Ime is going to keep his starters in the game, though? I think that's the real question. Are they playing 45 to 40 or are they playing 40 to 45?
I think they're going to play at least 40. They're playing 40, and the only bench players that are probably going to come off is Grant and Derek. I'd be very surprised if we see Peyton Pritchard in this series.
Pritchard might play if Jordan Poole plays.
But only people...
Jordan Poole plays?
If Jordan Poole's going to play, but they're going to have he's going to be out there, but Derek White's going to be out there. Derek White's going to be out there to guard. Derek White's going to be out there to guard Jordan Poole.
Why do we think...
So that's why I say only Derek White and Grant Williams are the only two. So the starters will probably be playing 40 plus
minutes.
Is
Poole this bad on defense?
He's average.
He's average
enough for the superstars.
His IQ ain't dead. He be getting cooked
Jason
sometimes.
Tatum will be looking for Jordan Poole.
Because my thing is, okay, when we get outside of, and we was watching game 7, when we get outside of Tatum and Brown.
Yeah, Marcus Smart.
Ooh, we struggle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm, so yeah, we can hunt, but...
Who killing?
Tatum got
Because
like
if we even doing Jaylen Brown hunting and he's going one-on-one ISO, is he even keeping the ball in his hands?
As long as he stays in the free throw line and doesn't try to drive, it's
That
possible.
spin move.
He's got to stay at the free throw line to shoot mid-range jump shots. Driving to the basket, there's no telling what's going to happen.
I think if we get Game 6 and Game 7, Derek White, I think he could be.
This series is over if we get that.
I think he could be a real X factor for this series. He was shooting the ball confidently. If he's shooting the ball confidently, team can't necessarily leave him. Then he can really get to the paint, which is where he really wants to get to.
I want to ask a question to y'all. You just said, who do you think is going to be like an X factor for like both teams?
I just told you.
the X factor for the.
But like under the okay, I guess you got Derek White.
Yeah, so what's up
for both teams?
So Nate, what's up with you?
For the Celtics, I think it comes down to Derek White. Like if he just gives you 3 minutes off the bench, that can be a change.
I thought I said NFL.
Okay, I don't know what they are. For the Celtics, Derek White, I think is a good pick. And then for the Warriors, I wouldn't say he's an X factor like under the radar because I think a lot of people are expecting him to go like since he's come back from injury. But I think Gary Payton's played like some of the best perimeter defense, especially in the regular season that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say those two guys. I think Gary Payton and Derek White. It could be Iggy too because he's ready to go play. No, I mean, okay, never mind. No, you're right. That's crazy.
How deep are the Warriors at this point? Because
Iggy's playing
Iggy, Otto, and
I understand he's playing.
Iggy, Otto,
really want to play.
He's probably gonna get minutes. Like I imagine Steve Kerr is probably still deciding like the rotation. Like we're gonna see some lines next
if
night.
Iggy, Otto, and Gary Payton are all playing, that means they're like 10 deep.
No cap.
That's very deep.
In the NBA Finals?
I've never seen
10 deep with no backup center though.
They're 9 deep.
Draymond is center.
Draymond is the backup
They're
center.
9 deep. If they play everybody tonight, they'd be 9.
Yeah, like 9 deep.
They're 9 deep. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe
Maybe a little
JTA
Wiseman sighting.
No, he don't.
he's at home.
But I think honestly the X factor is definitely Andrew Wiggins. If we're being serious, if Andrew Wiggins gives you 20 and he plays excellent defense, the series is probably a sweep.
So you're saying this basically will be Dallas again?
What's your two?
Okay, so for me, I already told y'all GP2 for the Warriors. Obviously, Andrew Wiggins is a good candidate, but I would say GP2 for reasons I explained earlier. For the Celtics, it has to be Marcus Smart in each one. You gotta be able to guard Steph Curry, and you have to be able to handle the basketball and make sure because he's gonna be the key person when it comes to not creating offense, but like setting up the offense and making sure that the ball isn't turned over. So he's got to and he's also got to be smart in the clutch because he missed about 3. He missed 5 shots late in that game when they were up by 13. Didn't give Jason Tatum the ball not one time. And again, we were Jimmy Butler shot away from everybody looking at Marcus Smart like, why did you keep shooting? So I need him to. So he needs to play like a point guard, have a feel for the game, understand what's going on. Try to get the ball to give the ball to your best players. Don't even try. Give the ball to your best players when you're up by that much and you got a chance to win. And just you got to play hellacious defense on Stephen Curry for the Celtics to even have a chance. So Marcus Smart is my X factor for the Celtics. Gary Payton II is my X factor for the Warriors.
Do you think?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I already mentioned Derek White for the Celtics and how essential his ability to shoot, dribble, drive, pass off the drive. That'll be really essential for the Celtics. But for the Warriors, I'm gonna go with a bigger name, but their availability for the team and what he does will be very essential for this series. Draymond Green, the way I saw a stat in the previous series, I think they may be 20-1 when he hits a three. If Draymond is able, because I think in this series, like somebody had mentioned, I think a lot of the time he will be at the 5 in this series, and the Celtics will leave him. He'll have to play make. He's a great playmaker. He'll probably be able to do that, but he'll have to hit shots in this series because I think the defense will keep the games really close. So every shot towards the end of the game will matter. And if he's in the game, they're gonna force him to shoot. They're gonna beg him to shoot. And if he's wasting possessions, putting up bricks at the end of the shot clock, then the Celtics can go in transition and take advantage of that. So if Draymond is shooting the ball the way he says he can when he wants to, I think if he's 35%, 30, 33%, 35, lower, if he can get to 33, 35%, enough for them to not just leave him, I think the Warriors could run away with this series, honestly.
Do you think there's a chance that Derek White may outplay Marcus Smart and Marcus Smart gets put on the bench?
I don't think they put
No, because I'm speaking in terms of like
I think he
No,
can.
wait.
I'm speaking in terms
I
of
was saying,
Marcus
I
Smart.
think he can outplay him.
His boneheaded, like if
I think
Marcus
he-
Smart
yeah.
come out game 1 and he trying to ISO Steph Curry and hit fadeaway
No, I agree.
threes,
I
then
agree.
He's not gonna.
No, I agree. No,
Marcus
yeah, I was gonna say I
has been
agree.
doing that since 20.
Games.
No, hold on.
you wasn't watching game
Hold
7.
on, but
Those
Brett,
threes were wide open.
Yeah,
They were
No, he
fadeaway.
wasn't.
No, Chris, hold on. So I
Oh,
do
you talking about like a,
So Brandon,
I
I
know what you're talking
do think that Derek White can outplay him offensively, but Ime's not gonna take him off the court because Marcus is the best defender. No. Marcus is the best defender on Steph Curry. It has been found.
Marcus Smart is not guarding Steph Curry. I don't care what we say.
I understand. But
But
listen to me. Stephen Curry is shooting 29% against Marcus Smart
He's
over the
not
over
guarding
the 8
Steph
years he's
Curry.
played against him.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
Why do you think that they just gonna have him man mark Steph Curry? That's not happening.
Possibly.
They will run the elevator door screens on him and it'll be done. He's
I
not seeing him
understand
again.
that, but he's going to be the primary defender. That's my point. I understand they're going to.
Yeah, we can try.
I understand they're going to screen him off and everything, but that's you could say the same thing if Derek White was guarding him. So what's my point?
But I'm saying Derek White's not
White,
coming
they're
down.
gonna
It's
cook.
No. That's why I
Big he is
said.
at.
That's why I said he can definitely outperform Marcus Smart. But Ime won't take him off the court because he's not as good defensively
It
as
was a
Marcus.
minute and 5 seconds.
That's
on
all
that
I'm
game.
saying.
It was a
I
minute
will
and 5 seconds on that game clock. They was up 5. He came down, shot a contested 3.
That shit blew me.
I was.
And then we got an offensive rebound and then he shot another one.
That shit blew
It was
me.
ridiculous.
He said it's my
Hey,
turn.
Marcus Smart, that's my boy. But I will say this: Ime is not stupid. He may not start like if after 3 games Derek White is outplaying Marcus Smart. I still don't think he would start Derek White over Marcus Smart. But Ime showed in Game 6. I think Derek White closed the game.
Yeah.
In the game we were trying to come back and win. Ime's not. He will bench Marcus at the end of the game. I don't think he'll bench him at the start of the game just because it's the finals.
Right.
You got to keep everybody's morale high and stuff. But if Marcus isn't on anything in the third quarter, you might not see him until the next game. And Ime has no shame in that, and all the players said they respect that, and I can respect that as a fan. If everybody is hooping except Marcus won't be on the court, and Marcus will probably be fine with that too. Honestly.
That's what I like to hear.
All right, so who are your X factors?
Am I two? Oh yeah. Okay. So what for the? Oh you. Bad. You have
I
your
mean,
I know
my
Brandon gave
one,
us Wiggins, but
I said
yeah,
Kevon
he said
Looney,
Looney and Wiggins.
and I'll put one on the Celtics. I mean, it's probably gonna be Grant Williams. He can sit in that corner and hit threes. Then they're gonna be good to go. I mean, I don't really know what else he does as an NBA player. I'm gonna be honest.
vibes, man.
He's a good
Vibes.
defender.
He's a good defender.
He talks to the ref.
He's a good defender when he doesn't
Against
foul.
the Warriors, I don't know where he fits defensively
Yeah,
unless
like,
he's playing the five.
Draymond.
He's about to say he's probably
No,
going to
because
That's about
he
it.
don't have the lateral quickness. What he's 6'5",
Yeah, he does.
240.
No, he
He
does.
does.
To guard
He
Draymond?
can guard.
No.
Draymond.
To guard Draymond, of course.
Oh yeah.
But
Are you saying if he's
To guard
are you saying if they
anybody
like
else?
if they can switch?
are you putting Grant
Grant
Williams
Williams
on the
guard
court
who?
just as himself without Robert Williams or
He
without
will stay in
Al
front
Horford?
of him for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know where Grant
In front of
Williams
who?
fits.
He said
on the
Jordan
court
Poole.
this season.
I'm assuming Brand is
Good
I'm serious.
I'm assuming Brand is asking if
Grant
you like
Williams
switch him
guard
You know
on.
what? I tell you what. I can
Grant
tell you
Williams
this.
guard Jordan
I'm
Poole.
not talking about.
Grant Williams guarding Klay Thompson. You can do that.
He probably just.
And Klay Thompson gonna shoot right over him and make it anyway.
He's not running around screens.
Hey,
with Klay
Clay's gonna
Thompson.
shoot it.
That's
He's
not
gonna
happening.
shoot it.
It's late minute
As long as
podcast.
you
That's
put-
why I sounded
As
so
long as you
nasty
put a
right
hand
now.
up. You put a hand up. Try.
Because Grant Williams guard.
Grant Williams is not running around
But look,
screens guarding
if
Klay
Grant
Thompson.
Williams-
Absolutely
If he's
not.
not right around screens,
If he's
who is
shooting
guarding
40,
him before?
if he's shooting 40%
Warriors.
from three, he gotta play. We don't have
No, he
shooters.
don't.
He
Duncan
does.
Robinson just did not play.
The Heat have shooters. We don't.
Oh
We don't
my
have
God.
shooters
They
in the
got
starting
Marcus
lineup.
I'm
Other than
saying
Jalen
Duncan
Brown
Robinson
and
was
Jason
hitting
Tatum.
shots.
That's why you have multiple 40% shooters on your team.
Hell no.
Y'all got Al
Name
Horford.
him.
They got Al Horford.
Name him. Al Horford is a shooter. Grant Williams is our best shooter.
I mean, you say that, but
Derek White.
Horford's gonna get his looks this year.
Horford definitely
He
is.
is.
He wasn't hitting at the end of last series though.
Yeah,
That's
he
why
wasn't.
but he wasn't
I
hitting.
think
Grant wasn't hitting.
that's another big thing we'll see probably tonight is Draymond on Horford and probably staying in the
What?
paint. Hold on.
The nastiest
Hold
matchup in the
on. And
finals.
Draymond staying in the paint and allowing Al Horford to shoot.
That's what
That's what I'm saying. It's probably
he
gonna
guarded
That's what they're gonna have.
They don't need to.
Who is
Because he
Draymond
put
gonna
Wiggins
guard?
back in the paint.
Isn't Wiggins gonna be guarding JT?
He's gonna be guarding JT or JV. He's gonna be
They
guarding
gonna
one.
switch that so effortless.
Exactly.
Who's Steph guarding? Marcus? Might as well.
Probably.
That's
Marcus, he might start wild.
He gonna start posting up.
That's-
Marcus gonna
If
start
he sees
posting
Steph
up.
Water, Marcus might try wild.
You also like Wiggins fights over screens though.
He does.
He does. Like he'll get around.
That's because he's
Not every
real
single-
long.
He's like a rabid dog when he
Yeah,
saw
he-
Luka, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He real lanky. Real.
All right, well, DeMarco, what are your two X factors?
So for the Warriors, my X factor, I would possibly say I think Clay's a good one. I took that from you.
Yeah,
My bad. I can do a different one.
Nah, you good.
I know.
You can do the same X factor.
Number two, I play
X
Wiggins.
factor.
I do Wiggins.
Is he?
I think if Wiggins come like how you said, come out correct or whatever in terms of scoring 20 points and having that defense, then yeah, he can definitely close the series out way faster than what they expect. I think.
The Wiggins agenda, man. I can't wait to see
Push
it.
it. So, Finals
Come on,
MVP.
man. If he
Number
wins
one pick,
finals, I
Hall of
hope
Fame.
something crazy.
If Wiggins win Finals
Hall of
MVP,
Fame bound?
he might be in the Hall of Fame.
You got a college career?
Y'all are laughing.
What? College?
He
He
has
has
He has no college.
He was
career.
hooping in college. He was hooping in college. What are you talking about? He was
No,
hooping.
he has
He was
That,
definitely
you do not count that as a
Andrew
college
Wiggins
career
was
for Hall of Fame.
disappointing in
He has
college.
no accolades.
He was one and done.
Wasn't he disappointing though? People was like,
I don't even remember that
Nah.
kid.
Bro, get that, but he was hooping in college. He was better than Joel
They
Embiid.
drafted him off his mixtape.
He was. Don't sit there and act like he
Like Joel
wasn't.
Embiid that proceeded to
Wait,
not
hold
play
on,
for
hold
20
on,
years. Joel Embiid
You gotta
didn't
admit though,
play
that's
for
like
20
a top 5 who mixtape.
That's elite mixtape.
That's
elite
elite.
mixtape. That's elite.
That's how we put him in the Hall? For real?
Yes.
Number one pick, elite
I know who's what I'm
He
saying.
was in with
he
15,000
was
points.
pretty decent.
Man.
17.
Got a ring Finals MVP? Come on.
KD, what did KD average in college?
27. I think.
You know how they were talking about. They were
No,
talking
no,
about KD averaged something crazy.
He
I
averaged
think
27.
25.
I think he
25%.
even-
27 in a rebound.
They was passing
I know
KD
it was
and talking about
20.
LeBron.
27.
Andrew Wiggins.
Game scorer on like average shooter for his career. So
Who?
it's like he don't have a bad career. Like,
That's
so
our-
I think
that's our
I think
producer.
it's a possibility he can make.
He can make that shit.
Talking about Wiggins?
He
Yeah,
averaged
Wiggins. Yeah.
Wiggins has been the
If he
same
gets
player
Finals
since
MVP,
year one.
He
Bro,
did. He built it.
He better defensively, yes.
If you put
offensively, he's
if
the
you
same.
put 20 points per game for 7 straight seasons,
Nah,
I
he not
mean,
the same offensively.
Rookie of the
Nah,
year.
He ain't had that hezzy jab.
He's got a
Rookie
point.
of the
He's got
year.
a point.
David
though.
got the same.
He's
Like,
a one-time All-Star.
how many
He's not
players,
making it again.
how many players do you have though that average 20 points for 7 years straight?
Players make Hall of Fame with one All-Star appearance.
Oh my
I know, he's. I agree. I don't think
But you're
he's
not
also
understanding.
no
It's like
He-
By that logic, all it takes is for D'Lo to win a ring. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Yes.
Finals MVP. Finals MVP.
Finals
That's
MVP.
that's
If
worse
I
than
was-
Wiggins.
Come on, man.
Nah,
no.
Wiggins added to
D'Lo,
his bag offense.
yeah, D'Lo
He
led a
just
team
don't
to the
shoot.
playoffs,
Yeah, but that's not how. It's not how.
That's what he did.
and he was an All-Star as well.
Oh my goodness.
He was
It's
good.
not-
And if he gets a finals and a Finals MVP, you have put all of it together to
To do what?
I'm
Put all the
For-
to
emphasis.
go to the Hall of Fame.
Pushing the
I think we gotta
The Hall
stop.
of Fame
This is
four
crazy
of
agenda
that's-
pushing.
We can't reward a season.
Nah, this is a
Exactly.
pushing.
He
It can't be on
Hall of Fame
Facebook.
over one season.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I see what he's
Even
doing.
though Walton had
I see what
college,
he's doing.
and he was basically
If
on one
Wiggins
season.
does this for like, if he makes All-Star
Bro,
next-
we got Bob Cousy in the Hall of Fame.
Do you see
Come on
Bob
now.
What are we doing here?
Honestly,
Do you see his
honestly,
accolades?
honestly,
You see
Mike
his
Conley
field
need to be a
goal
Hall of Famer. Bob Cousy in the Hall of
That's the
Fame.
40.
Yeah, nah. I mean, every time about Bob Cousy, y'all can trash it for all the months. We gotta realize, like, the crossover was considered a carry back then. He nice for his
You
time.
got it.
He shot below 40%.
I understand.
What is the crossover?
You
have to
can't
do with
compare
the
errors like that,
He played
especially
during
from the
sec-
black and
He
white.
played
But
during
he-
segregation.
He
I'll
was at
do
least the
that.
top of
They
He
wasn't
was
even
hooping
letting.
against Brandon. We're gonna
Right,
reward that.
tripping, bro.
We're proud of that. Brandon would have been even borderline Hall of Fame.
So Oscar Robertson, Jerry Rice,
honestly,
and who else?
You
is
named
bad
3.
about
How
this?
many teams was
they
it?
put a limit on how many black players you can have on a team.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
There was a limit. I think it was like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
No, because I read something about there was like a player in the Warriors who was like an all-star. He was like an all-star. Then the year later, they like kicked him out because like, oh yeah, we had like a quote on black people.
Ooh,
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's weird that Tom Cruise
Will
played
Weston
him.
made the call.
Well, speaking of the Celtics, Jalen, what was your other
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks for that was good. I like you did that. For the Celtics, I say, man, Tatum.
That's
Wow.
not an X factor.
No. Let him explain.
No.
Let him explain.
I was going
Let him explain.
Yeah, right? Thank you.
I get it because that's a star.
Now,
No, but let him explain.
At first, I said Marcus Smart, right? Because I feel like throughout the playoffs, Marcus Smart, the way it's what's Marcus saying? It's similar to Draymond Green in terms of he's our energy for the team, right?
Yeah.
We go where he goes,
Yeah.
right? But as Tatum being the number 1 player, he had game with 10-point game in the playoffs. So if he's just consistent in terms of 25
You're not
route,
getting that.
9 for 21.
You're not getting that.
I know he's not. That's a problem. We need consistency.
But this is why he could be an X factor.
So the X factor is Jason Tatum.
I'm gonna tell you what he needs to
That's
average.
my thing. Yeah, I think he,
I'll
to
be
be
honest.
that number 1 player to carry us over the mountaintop, it's gonna be him.
If he averaging 25,
Y'all
they
losing.
losing at 5.
Y'all
We
losing.
losing because he's doing too much.
Wait.
No, because
How much is Steph averaging in this
Go ahead,
hypothetical?
go ahead.
I think Steph averaging like 27, 28.
He always do that though.
So
like,
if
That's his
Jason's averaging,
playoff. No, that's his playoff average.
No, I get that. But if Jason's averaging 25, it's
I
it's
think
gonna
it's
go
different.
5.
Steph done played about 90, 100 playoff games,
Facts.
and he's averaged 27 points. This is even when he plays bad, he's still getting around 26, 27 points. Jason Tatum averaging 25 is off the sample size of
He might
What?
get.
Like 5 playoff runs.
runs. He's had 2 runs.
Nah, he
This
been-
run?
No. He been East Conference
He made the
Finals,
conference
like,
finals 3 times.
4 times. He made
2018,
it 4 times.
2020, 2022?
No, 3.
It's 3 times.
He lost. No.
Lost to the
Yeah,
Cavs.
lost to the Cavs, lost to the Heat, and beat the Heat.
He beat the Heat this year. He wasn't on that team.
Oh,
He wasn't on that Isaiah
Eastern
Thomas team.
Conference Finals MVP.
Okay, what if he average 30? If Tatum average
If
30,
he average 30, they losing 7.
The Celtics
Okay,
have a chance
that's
to win
what
a
I'm
championship.
If
that's what I'm
they
saying.
go
So
to
if
Game
he
7,
steps up,
That's why,
oh, go ahead.
like, it's crazy because both of that's like your name because Zach had Celtics had to beat Jason Tatum because he has to basically have a historic performance
For
for the Celtics to even have a chance.
Keep that armband on. He'll be good to
No,
go.
we got to take that shit off.
Take that off.
Send it-
Take
send
that-
it-
You
send it-
cannot
send it text every night.
you cannot have that armband on and take 0 shots.
Right.
Yeah.
And have Marcus Smart take
No,
those
y'all
shots.
talking about
He's
Marcus
only at 10
Smart.
shots. I don't know.
Jason
No,
was acting
but,
like he ain't
no,
want the
but
ball.
Marcus Smart took 5 shots in the last 3.5 minutes. Jason took none. So you
He's
cannot.
not gonna run over
you
the
can-
Smart and say, "Give me the ball."
He should.
That's what Kobe
Bro,
would do.
I don't
Would
think
Kobe do
Jason
that?
was looking
He not
like
Kobe.
he ain't want the ball for
Then
it.
take the armband
He's not
off.
Kobe. He just got Kobe phone on.
Then
Every
take the
full Kobe do.
take the armband off.
He ain't look like he
Set
wanted the
football
ball.
eyes.
See, Jaylen Brown want the ball, but he be dribbling the ball off his kneecap.
That's the
Marcus
problem.
Smart will take the shot. It's not gonna go in, but he want the ball and he'll
We
make
need
the
that.
play.
We need Jason Tatum to have that Marcus. We basically need Jason Tatum to have Marcus Smart's
His mentality is that not
mentality.
crazy to say?
Basically, I mean, people were saying the same thing
I won't
about.
even say
Hold on,
About the Eastern Conference
hold on.
Finals,
Jay-Z,
MVP.
Jay-Z.
You
But
don't
where
even
does
want the
that
Kobe
go?
Bryant mentality.
Hold on, but
You're fine with Marcus Smart mentality.
Because Marcus Smart will just shoot for no reason. Now, but think about it. This is the same thing people were saying with KD and Russell. This same thing. The same thing people were saying with KD and Russ were together. They were like, KD needs Russ's mentality.
Who said that? Who said that?
I heard that.
Stephen A.
I've heard that.
Still, all of them.
Oh,
They
man.
were
Who
literally
said
saying
that?
KD needed Russ's mentality in OKC. They were literally saying that.
Their takes is the reason we got a podcast right now. We try to
No, I
clean
get,
the
no,
swamp.
I get that. All I said, I didn't say that he needed Russ's mentality. I said people said he needed Russ's mentality. That's what I'm saying.
Bad logic. But,
No Stephen A.
I'm
takes
trying to hear JG's X Factors.
So Jason
Tatum really has to like go off. I mean, like he might need to average like 32. That's not a good chance. Like he really has to do him. I don't know if he's gonna do that though. He might try to get his other teammates involved, and when they
He can on 10-point game, bro. He can't.
Yeah, he cannot have that.
Yeah.
He can't have no game under 22.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Under
I'm
25.
sorry.
Forget 22.
I think
it's gonna be a game this year. He get less than 20,
It's gonna be one.
and that's gonna be the
We gonna-
blowout that really decided the whole series.
Wait. So, if Iggy play right,
I think Iggy starts.
if Iggy
I think Iggy might start tonight.
Jay-
Maybe that's a big
because
There's a bold prediction. There's a bold prediction.
Everybody there is everybody.
I
at
bet
that-
you the
at
starting
that
line's already
three
in
spot.
right now because they gotta submit him
They
before.
gonna
Like,
be
what is
they
it?
gonna be shaking in their boots. You tell me Wiggins not gonna be shaking in his boots out there at tip off?
if
Because
Iggy play,
Iggy's out there?
No, I'm saying because
Jason
it's the
Tatum-
first finals. Like in terms of you
Oh,
got
so you say he started because he's been
Everybody
there before?
say.
the only people. So you got them 4 players that's been in the finals. You got Looney, you got Draymond, you got Curry, and you got Clay. They've already been in
So
the
you
finals.
basically saying you would start Iggy just because they've been there before. He's been there.
Wait.
before.
All right. So if Iggy play right, and they start him after like game 2, so he starts the rest of the series because he's playing good basketball, right?
Oh my goodness, where is this
And
going?
say Jason Tatum's averaging less than
Oh,
23.
Lord, I know
Oh, where is this going?
Using the past logic,
Another
Iggy has to win finals.
No. That's going to go to Wiggins is taking Iggy's spot.
He is.
That's who said that.
That's what I said. They're
There you
basically
go.
going to
I don't know. If
I'm not
Curry's
even trying to be joking. Like,
I think Curry is.
defensively.
I think
So what
if
does Curry need
plays,
to do to
I think
win
if Curry
MVP?
plays good tonight, he might really put on a masterclass for this whole series. I think it really starts at game 1.
But I mean,
If he puts up a Raptors-esque game 2 performance,
See, Brandon,
it's really going to be a masterclass.
I get what you're saying, but we also got that in 2018, and then he's still the stinker in Game 3, and then people never seem to like give him the trophy.
I mean, but it was Kevin Durant on that team. I think we have to take into
I
account.
agree, but I still think Steph should have won that year because he had 3 out of 4 good games.
I think Andrew Wiggins can average Kevin Durant's numbers from 2018, and they'll give it to Curry if Curry has the same averages.
I didn't know what he was
Just
about to
because
say.
at a certain point, like the media, if they win, the media is probably going to be so pressured to be like, we just got to give it to him.
Alright.
What
All right, John.
Talking about Andrew Wiggins averaging KD's 2018 numbers.
What? Let me finish.
What?
I said if KD averaged them, if Wiggins averaged them numbers, they still gonna give it to Curry if Curry averaged his 2018 numbers. Yes, they will. No,
Oh, they were against Wiggins.
They would have to. You gotta give it to Curry. At
But
a
wouldn't
certain
he have the
point.
narrative?
Clearly not
But
care.
Brandon.
The first one was like, oh, it's Curry's first ring. Like we don't know. He was the star, but it was like he guarded LeBron.
Brandon.
When you got the 2017, 2018,
But
it was
wouldn't
like,
Wiggins have the narrative that you just gave, where he'd be like, I'm playing good defense and I'm putting up KD's numbers, so I would get to the finals?
that's for my agenda. Like that's what I want to happen.
No, I understand
In
that.
my heart of hearts, I want that to happen. But if we're being serious, Brian Windhorst and all them boys probably gonna give it to Curry because he needed it.
All right, so
So
going
the
from
Warriors accepted Clay. It got.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think so. They could just take Clay off that court.
so why do you say Clay, Jalen? Why do you say Clay?
Why would they take? Come back.
They could just
It's just
They're not gonna take him off the
put Poole out there.
Let him
Poole
finish,
can do
man.
what Clay
Poole's
does.
replacing Clay.
Is you gonna say Poole or GP2? Which one?
I'm
Poole
asking.
can replace Clay. In terms of if you need to score on offense,
Defense, Clay.
This is
Don't
crazy. What is he?
This is-
What are we saying?
All right, Jalen. So why Clay?
It's just defensively, I feel like
That was definitely mine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
that's like
All right, Jalen.
no,
No, I know.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Jalen.
I think Clay is starting to like really want to get back to himself. I definitely did doubt him and say he probably wouldn't get back to what he was before. But he's in the last year, he was not exactly where he used to be, but he was a lot better.
That's crazy.
I thought you just said something like he should retire.
I did not say that.
You said he should retire. You said
No, I
he
did
was washed.
not.
You said he was done. I think we was all in the group chat when we said he was done. He should stop playing basketball.
Why would I say that?
Was y'all not in here?
I don't remember saying he should
Somebody
retire.
really
He
saying
would
that.
send screenshots of the box score every time he played a below average game.
I remember that.
It said, "This is Jan Clay."
No, I said
I
he
don't
was
remember
washed
saying
at
he
that
should
point.
retire.
Every game.
I didn't say he retired though.
Every game.
He's good now.
That was saying,
months
he
ago.
would say, oh
I was
yeah,
like
Clay's
50.
watch. Never betting on him again.
Yeah, when I lose money, that would hurt my heart. I need to make 3 threes, he make 2.
Well-
Hurt my heart. But
well, since
what
we-
you looking up?
I got
Got
fun
it.
Oh my god. So since we talking about it, all right. So just to close it out, let's give our predictions. Finals MVP.
Warriors and 5. Finals MVP. Klay Thompson.
I like
Wow.
that. No, I like that. I like that.
That's
I
such
like
a
that.
face turn.
It could be Steph, it could be Clay, it could be Draymond, it could be Wiggins, honestly.
Okay.
It might be Poole.
All
What's
right,
your
so-
prediction though?
So my prediction will be, I'll be lenient. I'll say it's Warriors in 6. Hope for the best. Finals MVP. Let's go ahead and give it to Craig. Craig gets his first Finals MVP. Yeah. Oh, I want to add this too because Nate said it earlier. I didn't get a chance to mention it.
Oh yeah.
I think a close thing to watch for this series is turnovers. I think if you
Yeah,
go back and
for sure.
see every game, who had more turnovers, that team lost.
Yeah.
So that's my bet. Put that down there. We'll go back and check that and see if it came true or not. But yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, you said that? Oh, put it in the camera. You got to put it in the camera. You said that?
Brandon looking for it. So we'll
Let's
come
take a
back to
screenshot.
it.
All right, so as a Celtic fan, leaving this finals, I can just sleep at night knowing that I was either right or I'll be happy. So I'm gonna go with the Warriors in 6. I do think that they're the better team, but I think people aren't giving the Celtics the chance that they rightfully should have. But you got to play the games, you know. If the series does go 7, I got the Celtics.
Yeah.
So who's your MVP?
Oh, Finals MVP, Wardell Curry.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I have the Warriors in 7, and I have the Celtics losing. I mean, I have the Warriors losing every away game and winning every home game. And the Warriors haven't lost at home this playoffs. They deliberately lost so that they could win Game 5 at home. Like they haven't lost at home. You know, they made the new arena. You didn't think it was going to have the same feeling, the Chase Center, everything. It felt like 2015. It felt like 73-9 Warriors when they're hitting threes in there and they're going on runs.
In there, yeah.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
You know the Celtics got a better record than the Warriors, right?
no, they
No,
don't.
the Warriors are 2 more wins than the Celtics.
You
We
go
had this conversation before we started recording.
The Warriors are 2 more wins than the
The
Celtics.
Celtics are 51-31. The Warriors are 53.
We had this conversation literally like 2 minutes.
Because they win. I was like, I thought he was going to say that the Warriors are like playoff game.
I swear I was right.
I thought he was going to say the Warriors are
game was
like
in
playoff game.
Boston.
Now him saying they're gonna
At 9 o'clock.
You thought they was in Boston.
At 9 o'clock.
him saying
9 o'clock tip off on the East Coast.
All of Twitter got media day in the Chase Center, but they flew over to Boston. They didn't fly.
That joint on the Boston thing says San Francisco, California.
Oh my God!
All right, so finish up, Brandon. You said
He
they
was
were
making
going
a
to
face like he was so
Yeah,
wrong.
so I got them in 7 games. It may be 6 if they can sneak one, like maybe a. No, because if they're not sneaking Game 3. If they sneak Game 3, then we might as well wrap it up. So they're probably gonna lose Game 3, sneak Game 4 maybe, and then do it in 6. But if not, they'll 2-2. It's still 2-2, 1-1-1, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll go that way in terms of 7. MVP. I want to give it to Curry so bad, but I'm gonna go with Jordan Poole.
I like that.
Please explain.
I'm gonna say Jordan Poole put up a 50-point game one of these days.
All right.
Okay.
Because they gonna put PTSD out there,
This
right?
time.
They gonna put PTSD
He
out there.
explains.
No, let him explain.
starting to
Let him
get
explain.
serious.
Let him explain.
They gonna put PTSD out there, and the Celtics are gonna have to decide who they putting on who. And they gonna
They can switch though.
no,
but
they
they're
can
trying to put their one out there
switch.
for-
They can switch, but
Who's
if it
Jordan-
depends
who's
on
Jordan
all
Poole?
5 of them players, they're gonna compromise on Jordan Poole. They're compromising on Jordan
Jordan
Poole.
get like a good 42.
They're not gonna compromise on Clay because if Clay gets hot, they're not compromising. They're not compromising on Curry. And then if Wiggins is dunking the ball and hitting threes, they can't compromise on him either. They gotta put athletic person
So
on
he
him.
dropping 50 in one game on Derek White.
47.
I think 42 is a good number.
on the number 1 defense in the league, he's dropping 50 points in the
Yo,
finals.
I keep
come on,
saying
man.
number one defense. They was letting Jimmy Butler hit threes.
Jimmy Butler is
That was
If
it,
you're
though.
saying Jimmy Butler, we're talking
Wait,
about
hold on.
Jordan.
Brandon,
Brandon,
the names don't ring the
That
same.
don't work
The names
like that.
don't ring the same.
All the
We
fans,
all
Jimmy
knew.
Butler.
No. We all knew what Max Strus was about to do when they was down 5.
No cap.
And he still got
And
it.
he still did it.
That's just that's
Jordan
a
Poole
great shot.
Maybe intentionally foul, do something.
Did Jordan Poole
They
do
was
that?
down 8.
They let him run that play, run around the
Run
corner,
around the screen,
grab the ball,
catch
and
it.
take 3 dribbles,
But
and
Max
shoot.
Strus is a better shooter than Jordan Poole.
Off the catch? Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Max Strus is a better shooter than Jordan Poole.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a fact. So
Overall,
Shooter.
shooter. I just said shooter, not scorer. Shooter.
so we take shooter from outside the restricted
And,
area.
all right,
If
anyway,
he shoot
all
a
right.
mid-range,
All right, and okay. So
He shooting mid ranges to get 50.
He's shooting whatever he need to shoot.
Oh,
he called
Yo,
it.
Brian,
He
hold
makes
on,
it say
bro.
Jordan Poole.
Yo,
Jordan
Brian,
Poole is
go.
a pure hooper, and I think we'll see.
you know what? I agree. He's not 50 all
The pure Hoover
Next.
agenda.
He's getting
All right,
Next.
He got that dog in him.
either Poole or Wiggins is scoring 40. One of the two is scoring.
Go next. Ryan, please go.
At least
All right,
This man's so serious right now.
All right, bro. Yeah, this is not serious, bro.
If one of them
All right.
scored 40, Steph lose a final.
He last
He's not like that.
That's not
No.
MVP.
If
They
this
get
Steph
40,
will
bro.
score 60 the next game.
Draymond scored 30.
60.
Draymond got
Nah,
60
Draymond
points.
scored 30 is a sweep. If Draymond come out scored 30,
Draymond scored 30.
What am I
He
listening
get
to
a
right
finals
now?
MVP right after the game.
that sweep is so definite. If he's scoring 30,
No, this is
Let's
crazy.
go.
if Draymond
Alright.
scored 20, it's a sweep.
Nah, so all right.
Oh.
All right, y'all. So I got Warriors in 6. Got Steph as my Finals MVP. I think he closes out in Game 6 with like 36 and 5, something like that.
That sounds stuff like.
I also think we're gonna have alternating wins for the first 4 games. So Brandon's point, I don't think we're gonna pack it up when the Warriors win Game 3 and then the Celtics win Game 4 because the Celtics win Game 4. But I had them alternating the first 4. Golden State wins the last 2. Steph finishes it out in Boston with that performance I just gave, and he wins Finals MVP. Nick.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm stuck because I had initially had Warriors in 6. Now I'm thinking 7, but I think if it goes to 7, the Celtics win. I don't know why. Because I just think about how the Celtics play, especially like against the Bucks. Like they show they can win on the road, like when the chips are down.
Yeah.
The boys lock in once they start tweaking out. I'm telling you. If they get down 3-2, we win in the series.
I don't know what it is, but they seem to be motivated when they down.
That being
Wait,
said,
are they not? Was the Bucks the 4th seed?
They were the 2
They
seed.
lost on purpose, right?
Wait, no, the Bucks were the 3
Bucks
seed.
were the 3 seed.
They were the 3 seed.
they threw the
So what were the
last
Celtics?
2 seed.
So they didn't go into Milwaukee and win that game?
We
They
won
was
to
in-
Milwaukee.
Yes, they
won
did.
Game 6,
We were down
right?
3-2.
Where are we down?
My fault.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
the
Game
Celtics
6. I'm talking about Game 6 when they're down 3-2.
We talking about Game 7 and chasing there. I don't want to hear this. This sounds.
You're right.
disrespectful.
Different reason. Whatever.
No, but explain yourself there. Explain yourself.
I will say this though. I think
It might not even be Game 6.
like I'm leaning towards like Warriors in 6 or 7. I'm gonna just say 7 to be safe. I think Warriors in 7. I think the Celtics. I honestly think the Celtics, like if they lose tonight, I think they can steal Game 2. Warriors in 7. Steph Curry MVP. I think it's time. It's about that time.
All right, y'all. So this is a great first episode. Thank everybody. Thank all of y'all for coming out. And like, comment, subscribe, share with everybody.
What's the play, y'all?